Bill,
Hey, Doug, how are you?
did you get any games in today?
A few.
A few.
How
Hey,
about you?
Captain, John, Brian, look at you guys. Time for some Overpower adventures. That's right. I got it. Actually, just keep it, Corey. You'll be in before me tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going back to the store.
He's not coming in.
Yeah, I'm not coming in at all. Let's see. There we go. All right. How is everybody? Guess some of you saw the announcement there in the title.
Going to New York.
Overpower's coming back to New York. Yeah. Working on a prize pack right now. And I haven't got a response back. I'll have an announcement soon as far as cost and pricing. Stupid.
And you have a date scheduled?
It's November 23rd.
November 23rd.
And if this goes well, we'll be back in New York in April this is their holiday edition, and then in April they have a regular one. Well, maybe. They didn't do it April this year. We'll see. We might go to New York next year, too.
Okay.
Early. Hey, Anthony. Michael. Harry.
Eric counts.
How are you guys? Anthony already said he probably can't make it to New York's tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
He's from that area.
I think he said he can't get off work.
We understand that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Happened today.
You didn't work?
You didn't. You didn't get off.
You're right,
work.
I didn't. You're right. I tried to take off today and play some cards, and it did not pan out very well. Hopefully that don't happen very often for me. Hey, Reverend, how are you?
Reverend Larry.
I will be at the Big Apple, and I will bring some Overpower cards for sale. If it's on our website, I'll have it with me. And I got some goodies that aren't on the website yet that I'll have with me too.
I got a lot of goodies. You want to take some?
Well,
You got a lot of
I
goodies?
got a lot of goodies. Yep. I'm going to bring some big ones. Hey, Mage, how are you? Doug, at this rate, you should just buy a condo in Manhattan. Have you seen the price of condos in Manhattan? I could fly there every other weekend and not pay for a condo all year.
Yeah, you can fly in a few times a week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're way overpriced there.
Yeah, everything's outrageous.
Yeah. I wonder what people do there.
I don't know how they
Stock trade.
Well, I would imagine
Work at
most
Wall
people
Street.
have 3 or 4 roommates. 2 or 3 roommates?
Or 3 or
Probably
4
not
jobs.
3. Yeah.
A lot of mugging going on there too.
I've heard.
You don't make it, just go out and get something.
Hey, Doug Taylor, how are you? When I was there for the New York Comic Con, where did I stay? I stayed in Brooklyn. But Carbo thought I was staying in the Bronx, and he about had a cow. And he said, "You're not staying in the Bronx."
You're not even a Yankees fan, right?
No.
You can't stay there.
I know, you can't stay. Nobody wants to stay in the Bronx.
Or you a Doug Bomber when you go back.
But Brooklyn wasn't too bad, except for the drug deal that was going on at the foyer of the apartment complex when we came back Friday night.
Getting anything good? Oh, wasn't you making the drug
No,
deal?
I was not making the drug deal.
Okay.
They left when they saw us. It was kind of funny. Hey, Keith. Hey, Howard. And May says, so how many we got for this weekend? 31 registered.
I saw 36 registered too.
Yeah, that last time I looked, there were 36, unless 5 people dropped off.
Yeah, 36 I saw. I think we'll get close to that.
Do you think we'll get 4 more? Is there 4 that haven't signed up? to
No
hit
idea.
40?
No idea.
How many do we have at DLP Cup? 37?
37 or 38? Was there a buy?
I can't remember. I'll have to look into that.
36, I think.
36?
I think somebody dropped last minute. Larry's son, Jason or something.
Oh, Jason didn't
up.
show up. Right. So if we had 36.
And we waited for, what's his name, for like 30 minutes. He was walking from the parking lot.
Right. Okay.
My buddy Richard from Tennessee.
Yeah. So 36 players is the record. And they had 36 registered.
He's got 37 now. According to Howard.
37. There we go. Boston's going to set a new record.
Unless somebody gets sick or something crazy. But
Yeah.
I mean, we had 40, I think, registered, right? At one time?
Yeah.
So we had a few last-minute cancellations.
Right.
Which can help.
Yeah.
It happens last minute.
Right. But hopefully Boston doesn't have that
Yeah,
problem.
I hope it's big.
How many are playing on Friday? That is a great question. I think we're going to be pushing 20 on Friday.
37.
37.
Everybody's going to sign an NDA to play.
Yeah, I was going to take a picture of us play testing today, but I didn't play test, so I forgot to take the picture.
You could have done
I could have, but I forgot. Mage, are you a play tester? So you'll be there
that. He
if
wasn't
you
supposed
are.
to be, but I think he is now.
He is now.
He is now.
All right. 3 Bertrands. Zach and Nick.
Five Bertrands, yeah. Their last name's not Bertrand.
Okay. So there's 6. You, me, Corey, and AJ. That's 10.
Joe, Dave.
3 from Seattle.
Yeah.
3 from Oklahoma.
Yeah. 16.
At 16. And then Joe and Dave and
Sean,
Keith and Sean is 20.
And Greg and
Oh, great. Yeah.
probably the other
Yeah,
brother.
both of them should be there. So at 22.
Yeah, we should probably have 20. Sean Ballantine, did we count him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the
And you got all kinds of other people. Justin Sadeh and
Oh, yeah.
all those
Justin's 23.
yeah, you got a lot.
So
Larry.
It's going to be big.
I don't know. Is Larry in the playtest thing?
Larry did not pass the test to become a play tester.
It's unfortunate, Larry.
I think there wasn't enough players around Larry that they could get a play test group together.
No. But there's all the people, Al and all them too.
Oh, Al's not coming on Friday,
He's not?
and none of his groups are going to make it. Last I heard.
What about
Eric.
John? What about John and all them? Are they not play
John,
testers?
I guess John's not a play tester.
He's not?
I thought he was, but he said last week that he wasn't.
I'm not sure. I don't know where all the play test groups is.
Yeah, I'm
Located?
not. Yeah, we're probably the most vocal about play testing. All the other guys kind of keep it on the down low. The Bertrands, they post pictures every once in a while that they're play testing, and
I just talked to Sean today. He said they play tested for 12 straight hours over the weekend.
is that right?
The new game.
Wow.
He said he's got one deck that's undefeated. So.
Sean said he's got one deck undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, John. John was not invited to play test. I just assumed since you were in Boston, you were play testing with those guys.
Well, we'll invite you this time around.
And Larry says he will have a play test deck for Friday. Okay. Keith says, I'll be in town all day on Friday, but won't be play testing. I'm hoping to gather some other new guys, non-play testers, for some games. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Well, there'll be a lot of them sitting there, but
I guess they'll be in the same room as the play testers, and they get to see some play test cards.
no, I have no idea about that.
I don't know. Probably. Why not? Since
I don't
Joe has already
announced everything.
announced the third set when he wasn't supposed to. Let's let these guys see some cards that they're not supposed to.
And they all look the same anyway. So.
Oh, John, I didn't know you had an eyesight problem, dude.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm glad you can see again. Sean says he's almost undefeated. I may have lost one, but I can't remember for sure. It was a 10-hour day of mini games, and he didn't take notes. Well, not during matches, that is. I plan on taking notes. I'm going to fill out a note card for every game I play this time.
Right?
Yeah. That way I can give a better recap on Monday. Just probably on Friday night. I might do on Saturday, too. So I bought a pack of index cards to take up with me.
All right, I'll grab some. Take some with me.
Yeah, I can give you half the I don't know. I can
Got
give you a whole
4, you
pack.
got
I'll
8
get
there.
you a whole pack. But
Those guys can't write, Ken.
that's, yeah, it's going to be my handwriting. I'm not going to let anyone fill out the card for me. Then I get back home and can't read anything. Keith says, I wouldn't think that we'll be allowed in the room on Friday, but that would be great. You know, I'm sure they're not going to put it up for a vote, Keith, but if they do, I'll vote to let you guys in.
I will
okay?
too.
Yeah, all right. So you got 2 votes to let them in. We'll see what happens. Eric, you're playing. Are you a play tester too, Eric? Man,
I think they're letting a lot of people in that aren't play testers.
what?
From what I understand. As long as they had signed an NDA.
Oh,
I think that's the key.
okay.
Like I
Yeah,
said, that's how Sean's playing.
That's interesting. Because they haven't, well, I guess they got a little bit of notice. They could look at the cards and, all right.
And just let somebody play Hercules. I'll have him sign an NDA.
Yeah. My Sherlock deck came up a little short.
Did it?
It was fun.
We haven't got to play now. Hell.
No, you got to build one.
Yeah,
You have to build a deck first.
Yeah.
Then we can start play testing.
That's true. 4
Sure.
Hercules in legal, I guess.
Yeah, Hercules has got to. Yeah. I have 3 more decks to build.
3 more?
3 more. I eliminated the intellect deck. I have an energy of fighting and a strength deck to build.
Okay.
And the strength deck would have Hercules on it.
He's good.
I tried to do,
He's a lot of points in this environment.
yes, but I tried to do teams where I didn't repeat anybody's characters.
Right.
I could not do it.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible. I don't think there's 16 competitive players that we could build 4 unique decks. Mostly because of the high point totals of the better characters.
Correct.
The low point total characters, just there's not enough.
Yeah. Not enough in the arsenal.
Yeah, and it's kind of the 16, 17 point characters that play cards from reserve are very few. There's only one or two.
One.
Just Watson.
Might be 2.
So it's
One that I
tough.
recall.
Hello, Overpower Mountain. How are you?
The Mountain Podcast has joined us.
Did he post one last Wednesday?
I don't know.
I forgot to check. Sorry. I liked and subscribed, but
I think I did. I was listening to his tournament strategy. I haven't
trying to
played
pick
a
up some
tournament.
pointers.
Yeah, I haven't played in a tournament in a while, so figured I'd get ready for this one.
Yeah, I ought to go. Well, maybe on the flight out to Boston, I'll listen to some Overpower Mountain podcast and get some ideas. Mage says, I have 4 decks with all unique characters. It can be done. I know you can build 4, but are they 4 competitive decks?
Yeah. We haven't lost.
With one of them. What about the other 3?
I don't know.
He's doing so well with one, he hasn't even played the other 3 yet, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm really, really wanting to play Tarkis.
He's so good.
I really enjoy playing him.
Yeah, he's very powerful. The problem is, like I said, I don't like the decks because the way you have to theme them.
And that's exactly what I love about him. I love theming. Playing King Arthur and Merlin, I like it. And I'd even tried it with Lancelot, as you know.
Yeah.
That didn't work too well because I didn't have an 8 stat. I wish King Arthur was an 8 fighting.
Yeah.
I said that last week, so I'm not spoiling anything this week.
Okay.
I spoiled it last week.
No new spoilers?
Yeah. Tarkis and Deja Thoris.
They're good.
Carson from Venus in reserve has 2 very good cards.
He's too many points.
But he's too many points. He's 20, I think.
Yeah. What's he have, stars in? Oh,
He has his version of Stars.
is that Ben?
No.
What's he have, stars in what? Stripes? Stars and stripes!
Wow. We better change the subject. Mage says, my problem is not having the Lazarus any heroes, so I had to proxy with the old ones. Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, it's not an issue.
And Sean says he has 3 competitive decks and 1 that's okay. See, that's what I mean, Sean. See, you're not arguing against me. You're agreeing with me. We can have 3 pretty competitive decks without any character duplication.
I think there's another good character I want to try too.
Oh, yeah?
That I haven't tried.
Do you want to spoil it?
I don't know if he's been spoiled.
Oh, no, all the character list is out there. All 41 characters
Okay.
have been
Yeah, I want to
released.
try the Count of Monte Cristo.
Count of Monte Cristo. AJ played a deck with him.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yes. So you can almost get 2 8s that way if you place the 7 intellect. Right?
Yes.
The inherents have been released, I'm hoping.
No. I don't know if the Count of Monte Cristo hero card has been spoiled or not.
No. Well, he's spoiled now, guys.
All right. Yes, I'm glad to hear Tarkis is powerful. Keith, if you love Edgar Rice Burroughs characters, you're gonna love Tarkis. I think you'll really like Deja Thoris. There are ways to play Tarzan and Korak. They're not top level competitive, but they are fun to play.
Yeah. I
And-
think who's the most competitive character in the game?
Most competitive? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? The most powerful?
Yeah, who do you think's the most powerful or most competitive? Or who do you think we'll see the most of out there?
Hercules.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Merlin?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think so. Man, Cthulhu's so good too. AJ's got that Cthulhu deck. It's rocking.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Good job, AJ.
Sorry. I hope AJ hasn't tuned in yet. He'll kill me. Yeah, Mage agrees. Hercules. Hercules is just so amazing.
Yeah, he's broken. Not in this environment, but he's broken when it gets to the Golden Age.
Do you think?
Yeah.
There's Doug Phil. Does Tars Tarkus' inherent ability make it worth putting basic universe cards in your deck? I've played it with and without. Probably prefer it without. The reason being, he gets a bonus at some point for having cards placed on him. And it just,
No, I don't think you need it.
yeah. Probably won't be placing him.
I don't think you need it anyway.
He says, I was a little worried when I saw his inherent about basic universe. It was kind of to simulate, the guy's got 4 arms, but
6 legs.
just 2 legs. But it really didn't play out the way that I was hoping it would. Although, I wish they'd release a specials list. I can't wait till April to tell you guys everything that's in this deck, in this set. I just can't do it. How are we going to do that? We're going to have to quit talking about it. I think once the Kickstarter ends, we're going to quit talking about it. I'm going to say something that'll get me in trouble.
We don't have
And
much
I
time
wanna
left,
do
do
that.
they?
What's that?
They don't have a ton of time left, do they?
No.
Ends on the 15th or the 14th or something.
13th, I think.
I know
yeah,
they-
something like that.
They opened it up October 15th, but yeah, I think it's the
Okay.
14th.
All right, so they got 10 days left. No. Howard says, Sean, a couple of those decks were really strong. You'll kick some Ohio butt.
Unlikely.
Yeah, unlikely. Rev says, 37 now registered on challenge. John says, if any of the knights are an 8, it would be Lancelot. John, you're not wrong, but you will be disappointed. May says, the count is broken, needs fixing.
No, I don't think he's broken. Do you?
No. He's not a one-man army.
He's very good.
He is good, but he's not because you got nobody to pair him with.
That's the problem.
With the release of the
Did they show the points
Top
on
Cow?
Did they show the points on these characters?
No. Just the names.
Come on, Joe, get with it.
When they released Top Cow, then the count, depending on who you compare him with out of there, yeah, maybe it will be broken. Captain says, Keith, same, but Wicked Witch has a special that makes use of them too. So maybe in combination with the other stuff, Tars Targets can do some good. Very curious what Doug and Phil think about it.
About what?
I would not pair Tars Targets with the Wicked Witch. Their stats are totally incompatible.
No, I don't know about that.
Huh?
I mean,
She's a
we
energy
can't-
intellect, and he's
Right.
strength fighting.
I thought he was strength energy.
No. 7.
Are we allowed to say?
7 fighting, 6 strength. I didn't say nothing. Sean agrees, Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules is a monster.
I have had to put a BU in training just to flesh out my decks. Basic universe and training just to flesh out my decks. I have not had that problem.
What do you mean, flush them out?
Get them to a decent point, amount of cards. Get to 56 cards or whatever.
I just played 51.
No events.
The events are.
The events are weak
Poo-poo.
unless, the events are so character specific. If you're not playing one of the characters, there's nothing. So you can run 51 card decks.
Yeah, I want to try the mummy.
The mummy.
The mummy.
The mummy. AJ played a deck with the mummy on it against me, and it was fun to play against. I don't think I beat it.
Really?
Yeah. Keith says, I'm very excited about the Count of Monte Cristo. I'm reading the book to my 7-year-old son, and he's surprisingly really into it despite it being slow.
It's really slow.
Man, it's so long ago since I read the Count of Monte Cristo. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But I am so glad to hear you're reading it to your 7-year-old son. Captain says, so he's considered really good even without making use of his inherent ability. I am intrigued.
The inherent makes him better.
He's talking about Tars Tarkus.
Oh.
The captain,
Yeah, you don't
He
need
went
that.
back to Tars Tarkus.
You don't need the inherent.
Yeah, that inherent is...
It's nice if you could get it, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to play a basic universe just to...
And Doug Taylor says he agrees. Don't think you need the universe cards for TARS.
Yeah.
Sean says, though I have to admit, one round I got the win by playing one after the other, so I can't complain too hard.
Let's talk about real Overpower.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to catch up with the chat here. I can't wait to see what the Canadians are working on. I know they're playing more playtest games than anybody, I believe. I know Doug Taylor's doing a lot out there, too.
He flies to Niagara just to play?
I think he's got a pretty dedicated group out there. No, Michael, I am not going to go ahead and say things I shouldn't. He says, I can't wait till April when I get that big old box in the mail. Yeah, it's going to be great. Captain agrees. He can't wait. Unlikely. Oh, it's on. Oh, Sean. Okay. It was already on. I guess you just got the notification. Tar's Target stats and Wicked Witches are both public. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's 8 energy. And then her next stat is like 4 intellect, I think, right?
Yep.
The Wicked Witch.
5 intellect.
5 intellect? Yeah. And Tar's Target is 7 fighting, 6 strength. Like a 2 energy.
2 intellect, 3 intellect.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter what their grid is because it's all about the point cost.
Yeah, really. Now it's the threat.
Yeah.
But don't the Cadillac and other decks that do well in tournaments use mismatched stats? I thought I was being too rigid
Yeah, it's
by wanting all my high stats to match, or does something...
It's a different environment, my friend.
Yeah.
There's not the universal defense like you could get on the Cadillac.
Right. And if you mix up your power pack a lot, you're going to have an undefendable character every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because you got nothing besides power cards.
But I did have a very strong Hercules and Tar's Tarkus deck.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than Hercules and Poseidon.
I think it is. Poseidon's good too, though.
Poseidon is very fun to play.
Yeah.
If it works well, then there's an event for him that you can run.
Mm-hmm.
You can really mill a deck, which is what Poseidon's all about.
Yeah, he just waters your whole deck.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think against AJ, I made him discard 13 cards into his power pack. He'll mill them out of his draw pile into his power pack. Or dead pile. Yeah. So that was fun. He says she's an 8-3-2-5. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Wanda with an 8.
Like Wanda with an 8.
Yeah. The Wicked Witch is good.
She's not Scarlet Witch good, but
She's not. She just has one really nice 1 per deck and an 8 that makes her really playable.
well, she's got some pretty strong specials. I mean, she's to me, she's the second best character in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Better than Merlin? Oh.
For the point.
And you
for the
told me
point.
Sherlock was better than her.
He's real close. I mean, I think she's slightly better
Okay.
because of the 1 card.
You think? Well, I mean, that 1 card is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But Sherlock's got a card that
No, I know.
the one
new
deck
one,
they
right?
just gave him is just,
Yeah.
if you're not running a negate, unless you have your any hero negate, you can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to tell you when we go off air what I did to Corey with it.
Yeah.
It was just, you can imagine. It's pretty powerful. But I haven't found, I was playing Sherlock with Dr. Watson and a couple other characters. Sherlock and Watson are a nice team because you get that 221B Baker Street
Right.
advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't find 2 characters to pair with them.
That's the problem.
That I liked enough.
Yeah. I think therein lies the problem, I think.
Yeah. I did try.
Although you didn't try it with the Count.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did use Moriarty.
Yeah. Which he's decent.
He was okay, yeah. It just fell a little short. I
Then it
thought.
feels weird playing those 2 together. It's like arch enemies on the same team. Kind of like your Hero Click days.
Yeah. Michael says, if we invest at a certain dollar amount, can we know? Michael.
Yeah, send me the money and I'll let you know.
PayPal. Sean says, dual suit decks still work because of any power cards.
Yeah, that helps.
It helps. I don't know. Yeah.
Especially because there's no, like I said, no good events. offset that at this juncture.
Yeah. You could do it, but it does make it tough.
But then you're also not putting KO pressure on your opponents unless you're just strictly using the any powers for defense.
Yeah. There's so...
If you throw the white power guards at me, I'm taking them. I can tell you that.
Yes. Captain says interesting stuff. I guess I would just stick with one stat decks as per my usual.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do in this environment, just about. I think you can get 2 stats in, but
Well,
the way you have to kind of build them, you almost got to...
sometimes your secondary stat can be 6, up to a 6 in this new set.
Right.
But I wouldn't mix the 7s, probably not even the 8s.
I don't mind. Tars and Hercules, you have to.
Well, right. Yeah, because he's
Mm-hmm.
Hercules is strength and Tars is fighting.
Right.
But their specials work well together.
Yeah.
Mage says, yeah, because no one ever ran arch enemies on the same team in Classic Overpower.
You can't do that.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk real Overpower,
Yeah.
which is what we'll be playing at the Big Apple November 23rd.
Not another playtest.
It is not play testing. I am flying in on Friday and I'm flying out on Sunday. So I will only be running the one event at the Big Apple on Saturday. It's a one-day convention anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if somebody's around and want to play Friday night. It's possible. I'll see what time I'm going to get in. But it's not play testing. We're going to play we're going to play Golden Age. Overpower. I'm
The Flash.
the Golden Age Flash.
I'd play.
Yeah, but we'll see what comes. I'm not playing in Saturday's event. I'm just going to run it and judge it. I will be announcing the prizes, like I said, soon. I'm trying to find out what kind of entry fee they have for the con. Right now, I looked on the website. It's expensive to get in the con. It's like $30. If it's $30 to get in the con, I'm going to make sure that the tournament is free.
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge somebody $30 to come in the con, and another $5 or $10 to play in a tournament.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're still going to have some prizes that are going to be worth playing for. So I hope if you guys are around New York, anywhere close to that con, you'll come out and play. It's going to be special. How about you?
About me.
You want to come to New York and play?
I don't know if I'm allowed.
Yeah. Well.
Might be too many back-to-backs. And our house is about done.
Oh, good. You gonna be moving in by Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And that's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, so no, you're not gonna be able to
Probably
make
not
it.
going. Yeah.
Well,
I'll be there in spirit.
yeah. They do want me to do some live streaming from the con. The con does.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna hook me up with Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. So
Be fun though.
yeah, it's
Put her
gonna,
Overpower Adventure shirt on and
Yep. We had some Star Wars players in here on Saturday, and Jessica was wearing her Overpower Adventure shirt, and a guy, one of the Star Wars players, walked up to her and said, "Did you back the Kickstarter?" And she said, "I sure did. Did you?" And he goes, "Not yet." So that was somebody out of the blue who doesn't even live around here, just came here to play a Star Wars game, and so that was kind of cool.
Star Wars picking up.
Oh no, it's not the card game. It's the dead Star Wars game.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
miniature Star Wars miniature. I can't remember what it was called, but they had 32 players, I think.
That's a lot
So
of
they
players.
had one of their largest events ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know why these stupid game companies cancel all these games that people still want to play.
It's like a cult following thing.
Yeah. Keith says, congratulations on the new house, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
And Captain says, Phil, I have wondered who exactly the Flash in the Justice League expansion. I think at that time Barry Allen was dead in the comics. It would have to be Wally West. Yes, I believe so. But nothing about the card indicates that. Just maybe since you brought up Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick is another possibility.
Yeah.
John says, insufficient vacation days left in the year. Well, John, why'd you use them all up in the springtime when you couldn't go anywhere anyhow? How
could-
far, John? How far are you from New York? You're not that far.
Maybe he knew you couldn't see you coming out in the winter.
Just couldn't see it. Just can't see it happening.
Had bad eyes.
Howard
remember?
says, depending on what happens tomorrow, I may pay the extra money and use my buddy's Humvee for the drive to Boston.
Humvee. Wow. Riding with you, Howard.
Wow.
We don't have to stop in Boston. Just
Yeah.
roll 'em over.
Well, I wonder what kind of gas mileage that thing
Nah,
gets.
terrible. Yeah.
Howard, can you guys come down to New York on the 23rd and play? That's not too far of a drive, is it? How far you think they are from Niagara to New York? 4
How far
hours?
is New York to Boston? Do you
Yeah,
know?
I don't know.
They're probably 5 hours, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, not too bad. But well, we shall see. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get to see some players that we haven't met before because we've never played in New York City.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
That would be fun. I think that's been the dream. Everybody just playing in a big skyscraper.
Yeah.
I think that's where Keffer got a bunch of those cards. I think their headquarters was somewhere in New York.
Oh, really? At one time?
And he got to pick out a bunch of really nice cards that, were those random play test cards that nobody could get.
Yeah. Awesome.
I ended up getting one for winning one of those team events.
Nice.
It was really cool. And it's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, you gotta love Doom.
Yeah.
Howard says it's the same distance to Boston as it is to New York.
I was going to say it's got to be close. I don't think it's the same, but it's close.
And John is 5 hours or a 1 hour flight. And there you go. The flights to New York City probably aren't that expensive.
No, I wouldn't think.
From Boston, I mean.
Right. I could have flown to Boston for $260, I think.
Wow. Well, the pricing might not be worth paying $200 to fly into for the con.
No, but I mean-
we'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, $200 to see New York, worth it.
Yeah.
Go to Times Square.
No, it's
No.
not Times Square. I've heard horror stories about Times Square right now. But it's New York. I mean, if you've never been to New York, it's always exciting to go for the first time.
My kids want to go so bad. I keep telling them we're going to take them for Christmas, but now I own a jewelry store and can never get off.
Yeah, that's your big season. Yeah, New York and Christmas time. When did I go last year?
It was cold.
April?
I think,
Yeah, it was cold. Was that in April? I think it was in
Feels
April.
like it was April.
No, I was there around Christmas time last year. So I got a picture of the Christmas tree in the hotel. And it was cold.
Yeah.
You're right, it was in November. And very cold. I went outside and did a little walking around. It was all right. So I think this year it'll be a little bit warmer. And I don't know.
Yeah, 80 in November. I'll take
Can
it.
you believe that?
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Play pickleball all year round.
All year round.
Don't even have to go to
play
Florida.
inside.
Yeah, don't even have to go to Florida.
But we'll play there. We'll trade some cards, buy and sell, see what happens.
Yeah.
Larry's probably not too far from New York City. He can come and hang out, play a couple games. It will be, like I said, just a one-day show. So we're not going to play, we're not going to go till 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I think the show ends at 6 or 7. So what else is going on in the world of Overpower? You saw the Overpower card games, what they call Town Hall last week. They had Ron Peraza and
The other guy.
the other guy. Oh my gosh, Steve.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name skips my mind right now.
Demzowski or
Yeah,
something weird like that.
Demzowski. Talking about the old days. Did you watch that one?
Just maybe 10 minutes of it.
I didn't get to see any of it.
I was driving. I thought it was a little dangerous. It was getting dark.
Well, then you're supposed to just listen. You're not supposed to watch
I
it.
was watching.
But that was kind of cool. And Ron Peraza was in New York City
Yeah.
at the New York Comic Con, so I met him again for the first time in 25 years or whatever it was.
Yeah,
so it's
I
kind
don't-
of cool.
I don't remember those guys that well, honestly.
No, I met
a few
him.
encounters with Ron, but
Yeah.
more Norm Barth than anybody. And I think he's still heavily involved with HeroClix, from what I understand.
He's running big events for him or something. I don't think he's an employee. He's just a volunteer or con staff. I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
But Norm backed the Kickstarter. What's Kickstarter do? Oh, Howard said it was a really good session. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty neat, from what I heard.
I'll go check the Kickstarter right now, see where we're at.
The problem is when I get too far down in the hills, I lose all my reception.
Really?
Yeah.
How about at the new house? You gonna have
No,
any
we have
reception?
We actually have Wi-Fi now. Finally, Spectrum just came through like maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh,
so that was
wow.
the first thing my kids bought.
Good timing.
Well, first thing I bought for my kids. They don't buy anything.
Yeah, really.
They're a bunch of bums.
What did it do? Log me out? It says they're at 240,000.
Yeah, they've been there for 10 days probably.
They admitted that playtesting was very minimal. I believe that, Howard. And I got a question about that, but I believe there was only 4 or 5 playtesters. It's just one playtest group. Did they say anything about that? Or just that it was very minimal? It's good until Joe spilled the third IPT. Did he really?
Yeah, I think there's been multiple chats that they said he spilled it.
Multiple chats that Joe spilled it. What the heck? I know he was telling people in New York.
Even at the tournament, I guess. Larry's tournament.
Yeah, that's what we found out on the chat last week, on the live stream last week. He told everybody.
So I'm going to
that-
spill it this week.
Don't do that. Phil, what are some characters you'd like to put with Flash? I assume he's in reserve. I haven't been able to build a deck with Flash yet that I really feel comfortable with.
He's not always in my reserve.
But you play him on the front line? No.
Yeah, he's a monster. I mean, he's got a 7 like Spawn. He's got a draw 4. He's pitching all your good cards. But I normally play the flip-flop and put him back in reserve. So I went to the finals against Sean Ballantine, and I forgot to start him in reserve. He Benazzi rocketed me, and I had my Devour in my hand. So, yeah, I did not win that game in the finals. But it played well all day. It's a good deck. I was playing it with Spawn, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange. And I would flip-flop Doctor Strange and Flash. And that way you could play either the Reap the Whirlwind or your 6 or less universally from reserve. You get to draw 4 before you bring Flash back, or hope to. But if not, you can Power Mimic it. I mean, there's a lot of options.
I love that Power Mimic.
Yeah,
right.
that's probably the best Flash deck I've built.
Nice. That was a long time ago, though, that you played that one.
Yeah, 2017, I think, 2018, something like that.
Okay.
Beat Marcel in the semis, but I really shouldn't have. He bet 7 on me, and we forgot. He had the no event. He was playing just a draw deck, and he had 3 draw 3s. But I had the Devour of Worlds at the time. I forgot, and he forgot that the Devour said negate on the card. And so when he bet 7, I drew the Devour and played it,
Oh,
and it would have been a discard.
wow. He had the event, no cards with the word negate.
So Marcel's not the only one that makes mistakes in tournaments.
Yeah.
Actually, I see a ton of mistakes. Actually, the game against Tyler, round 3 or 4, I had knocked out a Scarlet Witch, and we just keep playing for hours. He would have had no heroes.
Wow.
So yeah, there's just all kinds of little mistakes that people were, subtly making. Yeah, I had 2 7s and 2 3s on them. I think that's 20,
Yep, that's still 20.
even in Seattle. But you just get so into the game that you're not always looking at how many hit points are on your character. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Howard says there was no playtest group
what's that mean?
for the original Overpower.
Oh, for the original game, yeah.
Well, I thought-
No, it was just Ron and Steve. They said that, and then they brought Keith in and some other intern or something that they had.
Well,
They weren't paying him anything.
I
don't
thought
think.
the guys, Drew Tab, I thought he was a playtester.
Maybe later.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
just the original game.
Oh, okay.
Like I think it got a little more involved as the game evolved, but
I'll have to go listen to that podcast.
Yeah, it
I
was-
didn't think Dombrowski came along until,
no, I think he was the main guy.
really? He was there from the beginning?
I think he was before Ron. Ron said that was his first job out of college.
Huh.
So he thought he was like 24, 25 years old. And they had never played any card games. I mean, they played like regular games like chess and
Probably Old
poker
Maid.
and
I bet they played Old Maid.
War. a lot of people compared the game to War,
Yeah.
but then the other guy, like whoever was the head honcho, like said of Fleer, said we're going to put the poker element into it.
Yeah.
And that's how the venture phase came in.
And that took
And
it
that's
to a whole
what
new level.
and that's what really opened up the game.
Yeah. Sean, you are correct. I stand corrected. The Kickstarter is at $251,538.
Unlocked another.
$250,000.
Yeah, not bad for a
Yep.
game that's 30 years old.
Yeah, not bad at all. And I'm going to try to get New York Comic Con to back it too.
So there you go.
So we got some prizes for April.
Got 10 days to back it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll throw some money at it. Let's see. Flash is good up front. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, says
Yeah,
Sean.
he's very good. Yeah.
John says just 2 guys on playtest, then 3 when they hired Keith Bursack. Okay, good. And Doug Taylor says the other employee is a friend of mine. Yeah, Doug, you know everybody up there. That don't surprise me. Captain says, I think the way they put it was that there was no formal playtesting.
No, there was not.
They came up with card ideas and threw decks together themselves for a few games to decide if they needed to make changes. Wow. What?
I mean, you can tell, I think, from all the different versions, there was minimal playtesting. There was just too many broken decks that were getting, they would sneak in.
Yeah.
Every time they release a set, there was something broken.
Yeah.
So they didn't playtest much, if at all.
We need to.
Or didn't really know how to break the game like other players did.
Right. That wasn't their intention.
Right.
And some players, that's all they care about.
Right.
How can I break it?
And that was, and they kind of said that, like, we didn't make these cards thinking this was going to be broken or whatever.
Yeah.
We just kind of tried to keep it thematic to what the characters did in the comics
And have some
that
fun
kind of stuff.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then you get guys with the analytical minds
Yeah.
that they just want to win, and they'll find the best way, the easiest way, the fastest, surest way to win.
Yeah, and the cards were written terribly. Like,
Yeah.
you interpret it one way, I interpret it something different.
Yep.
And until there's, like, all this errata and meta, they let it get broken until they see it's just so broken that, the game's not sustainable. I mean, even look at the 98 Nationals, it was terrible. There was 2 decks that rocked the whole scene. 4 Freedoms and Vertigo.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a bad environment.
Yep.
So that's why I refused to play that junk.
Yeah.
I just had enough of it.
Yeah. We went out there. We got our butts kicked.
Not too bad.
Huh?
I started out 2-0 till they restarted this goofy tournament.
Thanks, Norm.
Yeah, thanks, Norm. AJ was 2-0 as well, and
Yeah.
he beat Duncan
Yeah.
and had to restart. It was just trash.
Yeah. That was awful.
Yeah.
Keith says Drew Tab was a playtester in the 90s. That's awesome. I bought most of my IQ cards from him when I was getting back into the game earlier this year. I think he was, and I can't. Nick, somebody, which is I think a friend of Drew's, was a playtester at that point. They were playtesting the Marvels when the game went under. Nick and Drew and
I remember going to an event at Drew's down in Virginia somewhere.
no, Drew ran an event.
Yeah, we went to it, you and I.
That was just Gary's.
Nope, this was Drew.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't remember Drew running anything
Yeah.
in Virginia.
Uh-huh. And we got to see like some old colonial-looking homes. Don't recall that, huh?
I don't.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. The drive was nice.
I just remember going to Gary's place down there.
Oh yeah,
Then
we used to go
went
there a lot.
We went to Pittsburgh once. Did you go to that one? We played in Pittsburgh Saturday and Gary's on Sunday.
Yeah, there were some twins or something that were in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names, but
Yeah, I don't either at the moment.
yeah.
Let's see. Captain says they underestimated fans' ability to suck the fun out of everything. It's our superpower. Yeah, Captain, they restarted a tournament after 2 rounds. It was hideous.
Yeah, that was the worst event.
Captain wants to hear the story. You want to repeat it?
Sure. I don't know if anybody on the podcast does, but I'll tell it. So the 98 Nationals, huge, biggest event I've ever been to. What do you think? Maybe 200 players?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
No, I don't think it was more. 180s?
180, 200.
Yeah.
Felt big. So they started the tournament, and kind of the way they had worded the event to start it was that, if you're not doing so well, we're going to start this other tournament for, like a second chance tournament. So what happened is everybody that went 0-2 immediately dropped out of the event. And it pissed Norm off, which I understand. You can't have half your field leave. But that's the way he worded it to start the event. And so that's exactly what happened. And so he got furious and said, we're not doing this. There isn't going to be any more restarts. We're not having the other tournament. Essentially, what happened. So they restarted it after 2 rounds. And so you essentially had to, I don't even remember how many games you had to win.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, I think maybe 5 or 6 rounds of Swiss, and then they took a top 8 or top 16, something like that. Like I said, I wasn't playing a Vertigo deck, so I definitely didn't make the top 8 or whatever. I did go, I think, 3-2, I think, and still didn't qualify. I remember having to play Gary Martin Jr. I think I won my first 2 games again, and then got spanked 2, and then won my last one. But then they did create a pretty fun event afterwards, and I know I won that and won a Boxer Classic.
Yeah, we opened that on the way.
Yeah.
Well, I drove. You guys opened it in the back.
Yeah, your brother Darren was with us.
Yep. And I didn't do so well. That was
I think you did pretty well too. I think we won 2 or 3 games each.
Yeah.
But we were playing, decks without negates. And neither one of us had a negate, so there was no way we could stop Vertigo.
I played.
You were playing the hand Starjammers Nick Fury with Bullseye in reserve.
Yeah.
And I was playing Heroes for Hire, Rogue, Super Scroll, and Thing in reserve. It was just big pound you cards, and
Right.
I didn't care if you were Vertigoing because I was just trying to win on Venture. Was our idea.
Yeah.
We had had enough of Vertigo.
I think Phil Keffer beat me in 3 hands.
Yeah, he had that gift of the gods with Thor. And you have no way to stop it. I mean, 1 negate in your whole,
Yep.
we were probably playing AOA, so we probably had a chance at 2 negates with Power Mimic, but
Yeah.
and we
One
could
punch.
Vertigo once if it got in play, like with
Right.
the Power Mimic, but it just wasn't good enough. We just didn't. I mean, we didn't care enough to win the tournament back in. We wanted to have fun.
I don't think we really understood it as much as we do now. The complexities of the game. And,
Right.
how some people just play to win and we played to have fun.
Yeah, and I had only been playing for a year,
Yeah.
but it was better than the 100 card deck that I first started with.
John says, have Mark Barnable tell you how he drove to Albany with a legal deck for regionals, and
And
it
they
wasn't
nixed
legal
it.
by the time of deck registration. Thanks, Norm.
Yeah, that happened to Scotty Flint too.
What?
He went to Atlanta to play in a regional, and the judge apparently didn't know how to rule any cards besides any heroes, and so he told nobody they couldn't play a battle site. He said, "Absolutely, I'm playing a battle site." He said, "I drove all the way here," so he forced the guy, and then the guy played him at the end because he thought he was a good player, and he sat down. Scotty said he didn't have a negate. He said, "I'm going to beat you in 3 hands," and the guy said, "What?" And they played for a box IQ apparently. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to beat you in 3 hands."
Did it take all 3 hands?
He said he let it go 3 hands. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'll have to ask Mark about it, John, when I see him in Boston. Captain says, so the people who are 0-2 dropped out completely
Tried to.
to get in a second tournament. Yep, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Norm would get so upset, because that's what happens in all the big games.
Yeah.
You go 0-2, you're done. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to move on.
Go have fun in another event.
Right. Drop it. Drop and go play.
Yeah.
Play side events or whatever.
Go still 100 finite powers.
Yeah. I remember when we left that convention, there were just stacks of them out there on the table.
Yeah.
Just grab whatever you wanted. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
And the people passing them out didn't care.
Yeah, they were just.
They just hand you one and say, can I get a second? Oh, sure.
Yeah. Third one? Yep.
Yeah. I don't know how many of those they made, but a lot of them disappeared.
Like Kevin said, made enough to go to the moon.
Yeah. Where'd they all go?
I don't know.
Well,
Well, it's not that. I mean, look, where's the 180 players we had, too?
Yeah, that's true. I've been reading on Facebook where a lot of guys saying there's a Kickstarter. I got to go try and find my cards.
Right. I've seen that, too.
So,
Or they sold their collection, and now they're like, can I get back in?
yeah.
So it's kind of just like a starting point to get people back in.
Yep. I think it'll work,
But
we shall see.
The anti-hero environment is not my cup of tea, but not that everybody has to play it.
You never played before battle sites.
I didn't.
And that's what I think makes a difference, because we were in at the beginning, and we mostly
Had to play
battled
any heroes.
with any heroes. So, to me, it even triggers more
Of the nostalgia.
of the nostalgia, because this is when we used to go over to my brother's house
You
and
bet 7 on it.
just beat up on each other all day long.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was what we had.
Yeah.
But in the competitive arena,
Mhm.
I definitely like the battle sites.
Yeah.
And I think battle sites adds another level of complexity to the game.
It does.
And makes deck building even more difficult because of all the combinations you can do.
Right.
And finding one that works now.
And that's tough
It's
to
not easy.
have an 8 or 10-year-old try to comprehend all that.
Right. So I understand them not having battle sites in this Kickstarter set. What I don't like is I just got the feeling we're never going to get battle sites back in this new game.
Yeah.
And that's going to
That
be
would be-
hard to make it a complex game.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll never make it super complex.
Yeah. Larry says he has all the finite powers.
He probably does.
I got 50 or 100 of them here, Larry. In the last collection I got a ton of them. There was either 50 or 100. I think there's 50. There might have been 100. He's got more, and I told him I didn't want them.
Was it the regular cut or miscut?
I don't know what's the difference. The
one-
miscuts were bigger.
Yeah.
Which one was first?
The bigger one.
I got the bigger one.
Yeah, that was the one from
Is
Wizard World.
oh,
And then they made them normal in
which one's harder to get?
the regular, like the regular
The
size
regular
one.
size one? Maybe that's what I got. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But yeah, nobody plays that card. They don't play it as much. I think they should. I don't understand why they wouldn't play that.
It's tough
Well, it's
because you're loading up 6 or 7 cards for spawn at
you
that
got
point.
so many cards now, and that's the one that gets cut.
Gets
Okay.
cut because it's a 1 per deck.
John says first day of the Dead is Dead change happened at the event.
Oh yeah, so like X babies or something
Is he
of that
talking
nature.
about Mark Barnable's deck again?
Yeah, he must be. So I'm assuming that was like an X babies type event. Because they were the ones you had to kill, like almost near impossible to kill.
Right, and that's when they eroded
And-
and made it Dead
Yeah,
is
Dead is
Dead,
Dead.
which is if you're
20 in 3 different colors, you're out of there.
if you're spectrum and cumulative at the same time, you're
Yeah,
gone.
you're
Dead
gone.
is Dead, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is Vertigo with X Babies was just
Oh, just so
awesome.
broken. Yeah, he sucked up every power card. That's how
yeah.
Larry. That's how Phil Kepper said his brother beat Larry in the regionals finals.
Larry had no power pack left.
Yeah, he gobbled it all up.
Yeah. Larry says, got them from Caesar, who got them from Norm.
Who got him from himself? Caesar is Norm. Yeah,
Was it?
they were together like a
Oh.
partnership.
Okay. Captain says, I think what Dave said about battle sites is reasonable. If they do them, I think they're going to be limited to suites of cards rather than making it possible for anyone to play any card. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they actually do it. I can't make a judgment call about something that I don't know anything about at this point. Captain says instead of grabbing specials from various characters, I think it'd be fine to have specific groupings of any heroes with activators that still give you options.
Nope.
And Keith says Dave talked about the battle site replacement concept on Discord 2 days ago. They intend it to be customizable but not so chaotic. I don't consider this
A lot of people do.
chaotic.
A lot of people do because they didn't understand that you had to have certain codes under there. And you could only have one per deck. And, I mean, until someone trains you how to play the game, it sounds a little chaotic.
Well, it is hard to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'll grant you. It's very hard to teach.
Yeah. I mean, if not, you'd run, every lockout. And
Yeah. When it came out, actually, I think Danny and AJ explained it to me.
yeah.
They got, was that Monumental that first started?
Yeah.
And,
And that's when I first started.
yeah, they got
So
the
you guys were
Monumental.
already playing sites.
Yeah.
And that's where I took hours and hours babysitting Katie and Corey, coming up with that Beyond Her White Queen deck.
Yeah.
But I initially had started her in reserve because I didn't know there were 3 stat heroes. I'd never seen one.
Never played one.
Yeah, I'd never seen one.
Really?
Never seen one. You guys were playing just the IQ characters.
IQ characters, yeah, at that
Yeah.
point. Yep.
Or the DC.
Yeah. Overpower Mountain says, you guys all set on decks, or is everybody still being wishy-washy? Corey's got a very good deck that he's very happy with and playing it very well. I believe AJ has decided on his deck. The one he
Yeah.
played tonight.
He's decided.
Yeah.
I'm the only one undecided, I think.
I'm not.
You're not decided?
I'm not sure yet.
No. I'm just undecided because Carl.
Huh?
Because of Carl.
What about Carl?
Oh, he wants me to play a fighting deck.
Carl, get off of that. Don't do it. Do not do it.
I think I could do well with one, but
You got to win it. You got to
Yeah,
win it or
I-
take second place. To
yeah,
me.
I should win it.
All right. Yeah,
I got the deck to win it if I really want to go for it.
yeah, you should. Carl's just trying to make it easier to beat you.
Probably. I think that's what he's doing. He's been contacting everybody apparently, saying, I want you to play this character or this character.
So I tried the Neron deck, and it didn't play as well as I had hoped, but we shall see. There's more play testing. We got a couple more days left, right?
Neron's tough.
Huh?
Neron's tough to play.
He is tough to play. He just,
No defense.
and he doesn't have a big overpowering one per deck,
None.
and that would be all he needs. But
Yeah. Yeah, that would be enough probably.
Captain says, so Doug and Phil, you disagree with Dave's opinion that it's wise to avoid having to design every special card with the idea that every character might wind up being able to play it. Yeah, I don't see that there's a problem with every character being able to play a card.
I think it's just going to be a suite of cards, though, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's what I.
So I don't
yeah.
like pre-made stuff that I don't have the ability to make anything different.
Right, customizable.
Right.
That's, I guess, what I'm getting at too. I like being able to customize it.
Yeah.
And Keith says what I meant by chaotic was that it was almost like it wasn't play tested at all, and so you end up with half a dozen great ones and tons of bad ones.
Good night, Larry. See you in Boston, buddy.
All right, see you, Larry. Keith, yeah, I guess from what we just learned earlier, there was no play testing. So that is exactly how it developed.
But I think that it's going to be chaotic anyway if they start intermingling Golden Age with the new stuff.
I'm
Because-
interested to see how it plays out.
Half of them's going to have codes, half aren't.
Right.
There's no threat cost on the old characters. It's going to confuse the new people. It's just
No, I don't think it'll. It might confuse the new people, but most of the new people are going to be into the game and they'll understand it by the time that comes around. Because
Yeah.
we're looking at a year and a half of having the current game before it
Golden
really
Age.
merges. And we'll see how many Golden Age tournaments there actually are.
I think a ton. I think more than what Lazarus has, probably.
Why do you think that?
I just think people love the environment that's going on right now.
Yeah, but you're bringing in new players as a store,
Now, those guys will all play the new stuff.
and
But I think
where you
you-
gonna play Golden Age at?
That's what I mean. I think there'll be a lot of regionals that are just Golden Age type stuff.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the new stuff,
Yeah. But I think there'll be new stuff too, but
more than the new stuff.
yeah. I mean, unless, like I said, unless BMG, like really, or Lazarus comes to the table with a ton of cash.
Or really exclusive pricing.
Yeah, or something that, is a $5,000 sheet or something that everybody wants to win. You're not going to see the big players. I don't think in the new game. At this point, it's too vanilla for them, I think.
Okay. It might be too vanilla,
Yeah.
but it's all the new players that you're trying to bring into the game
I understand. Yep.
to eventually, theoretically, to eventually get them into the Golden Age.
Right.
But the problem is
They
that the
can't
new
get the
ones are
Golden
not
Age
going to
cards.
merge with the Golden Age, and the Golden Age is too expensive to just go out and buy.
Yeah, it could be.
But I don't know. I see these Yu-Gi-Oh guys. They come in and they play a game, and
Yeah.
they got $300 decks,
Right.
$400 decks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you get a good $400 deck? Can you buy a good deck for $400 in Overpower? Yeah.
If you print it.
Josh
from-
just sold a Cadillac for $2 or $2.25, right?
Yeah, $215 or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a good deal. I mean, that's a discount, slightly discounted price, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting. I don't know.
I guess it depends. With any heroes you can, because you just mix them with the Lazarus cards that are 50 cents on Larry's website or whatever.
Right.
But Yeah, if you want to play Citadel, no. I mean, you're looking at $200 just for Citadel's cards, probably.
Or more.
Or more.
It's the
time you get the activators and
Yeah.
the specials alone. They're all $5 to $10 to $15 cards.
Yeah, and there's what?
And I play
14?
17 activators. And if you try to play Beyonder, it's another $150, $300 card. I mean, it's going crazy high.
That's 34 cards in the Onslaught Citadel. Plus the Citadel itself, it's 35.
Right. So even if it's $5 a piece.
Yeah, 175 bucks.
Right.
And
Beyonder's $300 alone.
yeah.
So just depends. You can make a fake Beyonder, I guess, but like AJ does.
So you play a proxy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, well. What did I miss? There we go.
See you, Michael.
I like battle sites, but characters should enter as guest stars and play their own card instead of the card identity hacking of current battle sites. I can understand that. It's never been that way. The game, that's not the way the game's played, so I kind of like the way the game's played now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think in theory it's a guest star popped in the comics to help save you. But the character that plays it, went and got Daredevil to help him. That's the way I always looked at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Except when he gets to make one additional attack and it comes from a different character. But,
it feels wonky.
He says, I don't think they're hard to play or learn, and I'm still relatively new. But from a game design standpoint, it's crazy, almost impossible to do in a balanced way. Mm-hmm. You are correct, Keith. John says, unless I have a sudden inspiration, I'm bringing the devil to church on Saturday.
Who said that?
John. John's going to bring the devil to church. The devil being
Daredevil?
Mephisto.
Or Mephisto, one or the other. Yeah. Could be a couple devils in there.
And Captain says, I like battle sites too, but it makes sense for me that if you're designing new special cards, it hampers you a lot to have to consider that any card could be played by any character with no limit on it. Any combinations. I hope that if there are new battle sites with suites of cards, they still have some customizable aspects, like options you can choose from, just more limited options than the old ones. Yeah, I hope it's customizable. Hey, Michael, we'll see you. Michael says he sent you something.
Yeah.
He sent you some dollars. He wants to know some details. Gavin says, I wouldn't want to be forced into having a whole group of cards or none of them, so I agree with you guys there. Yeah. My deck was pretty expensive to put together, mostly because of Holocaust. But IQ hero cards for Thor and Juggernaut were also not cheap. You got that right.
See you Thursday night, Howard.
All right, Howard. We'll see you Friday. Safe travels to you and the gang. You're all coming at once, right?
Yeah.
Zach and...
Valentine, Marcel.
Oh, you guys got to bring Marcel with you?
It depends how much money he has. But Canadian dollars don't cut it.
Yeah.
It takes greenbacks.
Exchange rate,
Yeah,
man.
it's
It's
terrible.
awful.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to Friday night.
Are you?
Right now, Corey's got a pretty impressive deck. It's hard to beat if he plays it right.
Yeah.
He just needs to get so much more experience.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's that bad.
No, he's not that bad. But he played one game against me that...
He's a lot better in this environment
Yes.
because he knows all the anti-heroes.
Yeah. But he negated... In the game against me, he negated a 4 off the permanent record of one of his characters. And I said, you don't want to do that. And he goes, yeah, I do. I said, okay. Then I leached him. And I got 4 cards off his... And he had to concede. And he got really bummed out. And I said, look, dude, you're still going to beat me. That was one hand. I didn't bet for the win. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And 2 hands later, he did. He crushed me.
Yeah.
He crushed me 3 out of 4 games with that deck.
He's got a good deck.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd like to see how my deck does when it's really put together. Because I tried to make some wonky deck with Merlin just
Yeah.
to see if it would work.
You don't like
You
it?
can't mix it with Hercules. They're too expensive.
21 and 22. I don't know how they expect me to keep these secrets forever.
Yeah. They're too expensive to merge. And their power grid doesn't match.
The power grid doesn't come close to matching.
But I mean, you get, a 4 multi, a 3 multi, a 5 multi, 5 innie, a 6 innie, a 7 innie, an 8 innie.
Now, everyone knows that the multi-power cards are 1 per dex.
Dumbest idea of all time.
Dumbest?
Yeah, probably. Craziest. Why are they limiting your power cards? Just so they don't fuse?
Yeah, they didn't.
I
Just,
mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the other bad thing. The new game isn't compatible with the Golden Age. Like, that's not going to happen in Golden Age where the power cards don't fuse. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, they're creating a lot of issues that I foresee coming down the road.
Yeah, there are going to be some conflicts.
A lot.
But as far as the first set, this set, I don't see any of them other than maybe Hercules translating into the Golden Age.
Yeah,
very
the Witch
well.
might for 19 points.
Maybe, and maybe Tarkus.
No.
You know, I think you could.
You have to play him with the other chick.
No, you don't have to. It only gives him one. There's
One
one
really good
card
card.
in his suite that it gives him an advantage.
But
on,
it's a dynamite
which
card.
It is, but I think you could play without it,
Hmm.
and it might even make him a little bit better because that's
Because then you're not putting him in.
that's right. You're not even playing him. John says my deck would cost a fortune if I wasn't proxying my X-Man activators.
Yeah, see, that's another $75 card.
Yeah, if you can find one for 75 right now,
Oh, they more now?
I think so.
Oh, good. I got 7 of them. I gave you 3 or 4 of them, but we lost them all out of your backpack.
We
Your
didn't
backpack
lose
was
them.
stolen.
Yeah, backpack was
I was buying those for $4 a piece at the time.
Is that right? Wow. And we thought that was expensive, right?
Yeah. I wasn't real happy about it, but I paid it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Better than 75, huh?
Yeah.
Inflation sucks.
Yeah. That's a lot. But the cards have gone up in value not just because of inflation.
Oh, I know,
there is
I
demand
know.
from the collector's market, so that's kind of cool.
It was a bad joke.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it again.
The new game?
Yeah.
I wish I was.
But I'm also having fun with when we sit down and play Golden Age games too.
Yeah, that's the part I'm struggling with. Like, it doesn't like hit the tinglies, you know? Like, my spider sense doesn't go off of this new game yet.
Well,
I think once they get 2 or 3 sets out, then it'll be a different story, but
does anybody know what the third set's going to be?
yeah, I do. You? Do you know yet?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I was gonna say I'll tell you off air if you don't.
I tried to tell everybody that the third set would be the third set, and everyone kept telling me, no, that'll be the second set. So I do have that going for me. At least I got that one right.
You got it right.
I got it right.
Most important.
Yeah, I got one other thing right, too, that I'm not allowed to tell. But
All right. We better go get your deck ready for Saturday.
all right. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Oh, 300 for a Beyonder and 3 $100 X-Men Citadel. Yeah, John, that's a lot.
Hey, just play Velocity and Reserve.
Velocity.
$150 speed throughs
Yeah,
coming out of there.
I think I just got 2 of them. 2 speed throughs.
That's nice.
Yeah,
You
I'm
just
not
got
gonna-
one, didn't you?
I think I got 2.
I know you just got one from John, didn't you?
Oh,
Didn't you guys?
no,
Or did you
I
get
traded
him?
him the speed through.
Okay.
But I think that all the cards that I just got, I'm going to take to New York and sell there, or try to sell there
Uh-huh.
before I put them on our website. And then I'll put them on the website when I come back.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll have more information on the New York tournament soon, hopefully by the end of the week.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
See you in Boston, Anthony. And hey, make sure you like it
Yeah. Like, subscribe.
on your way out. Like and subscribe, and follow us on X. That's been fun. I like Twitter a lot now.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. John says I still need one more speed through. Oh, wow. Keith, we'll see you in Boston, buddy.
I can get you one, John.
You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you all soon.
Take care.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Average duration was 48 minutes.
It never went any higher than